debtors is provision for discount on debtors. Okay, now what does discount on debtors mean? That when the debtors are settling their debt, the amount outstanding in cash, the firm might give them some additional discount for that cash settlement. तो आपकी कंपनी डेटर्स को ऑफर देती है कि इफ यू repay your debts by say 30th of January, then we will give you 1% discount on the amount outstanding. तो अगर 1000 रुपीज आपसे ड्यू है तो आपको 900 रुपीज ही पे, सॉरी 1190 रुपीज ही पे करने पड़ेंगे एंड सो ऑन. तो ऐसे करके अगर कंपनी डेटर्स को कुछ डिस्काउंट देती है, then how is that discount adjusted in the final account? So if you have a look here, it is shown on the debit side of P&L because this is an indirect expense for the firm and it is also reduced from the amount of debtors on the asset side of the balance sheet. So the dual treatment will take place, one in the P&L account and second in the balance sheet on the asset side from the debtors. Now proper sequencing is followed if you have multiple adjustment entries related to debtors. So how is that sequencing followed? I told you earlier also. सबसे पहले आप फर्दर बैड डेट्स की एंट्री को पिक करते हो. ओके, सो if in the adjustments you are given multiple adjustments related to debtors, first we do the treatment of further bad debts. Second stage पे आप provision for bad and doubtful debts को treat करते हो एंड डिस्काउंट फॉर डेटर्स की जो एडजस्टमेंट होती है वो लास्ट करते हैं. Provision for discount is dealt at the end, so which means when you have to calculate the amount of provision for discount on debtors, आप debtors में से पहले further bad debts minus करोगे, फिर provision for bad debts minus करोगे और फिर जो आपके पास net amount of debtors बचेगी उस पर आप provision for discount on debtors calculate करोगे. Let's take up one example on the same, so this concept will make more sense to you, like the example given here. In the trial balance you are given debtors as 32,000, bad debts 1,000 and existing provision for bad debts as 800. उसके बाद आपको 3 टाइप्स ऑफ एडजस्टमेंट्स दी हुई हैं, फर्दर बैड डेट्स, प्रोविजन फॉर बैड डेट्स एंड डिस्काउंट ऑन डेटर्स. तो आप किस ऑर्डर में ये एडजस्टमेंट्स पिक करोगे, that is already very clear here because they are already given to you in a proper sequence. So first we will do the adjustment of further bad debts, second provision for bad debts and third will be the provision for discount on debtors. So see, I'll show you the working here. First for the balance sheet. बैलेंस शीट में डेटर्स की जो अमाउंट है वो आपको दी हुई है 32,000, which means first I reduce it by the amount of further bad debts which are given to you as 2,000. तो अब आपके पास 30,000 बचा. इस 30,000 पर सेकेंड स्टेप की एडजस्टमेंट आप करोगे, that is new provision will be calculated on 30,000, 5% of 30,000. 30,000 का 5% आपका बनता है 1,500. After deducting this 1,500, so I just this शॉर्टेज ऑफ स्पेस। तो 30,000 में से आप न्यू प्रोविजन माइनस करोगे 1500 का, और अब आपके पास जो नेट डेटर्स बचेंगे वो बचेंगे 28,500। So now we will come to the calculation of provision for discount on debtors, which will be 2% of 28,500। जो आप यहाँ पर देख सकते हो 570 आ रहा है। So 570 will be deducted here, and your final amount of debtors in the balance sheet will now be 27930। Yes, 27930। तो आप इस ऑर्डर में ही एडजस्टमेंट्स करके प्रोविजंस की वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करोगे, और इन सब एडजस्टमेंट्स का जो सेकंड इफेक्ट है वो आपके प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट में डेबिट साइड पर आएगा। so that I'll show you here in the next slide। so you can see here in the profit and loss account, और ये जो पहले बैड डेट्स आपको दिए हुए हैं 1000 के, ये आपके ट्रायल बैलेंस में दिए हुए थे, डेबिट करें। फर्दर बैड डेट्स आपकी एडजस्टमेंट का फर्स्ट इफेक्ट है। न्यू प्रोविजन इज एडेड, दैट इज द सेकंड इफेक्ट। ओल्ड प्रोविजन हैज कम फ्रॉम द ट्रायल बैलेंस, एंड प्रोविजन फॉर डिस्काउंट इज द थर्ड एडजस्टमेंट given to you। Okay, I hope this is clear how the adjustments for debtors will be treated in the P&L account and in the balance sheet। The balance sheet amount we have already calculated, I had shown you there, it is coming out to be 27930। Okay, any doubt related to debtors, entry of debtors, you can ask। Okay, so we move to the next adjustment, like the business gives discount to the debtors on settlement of the debt due। Creditors might also give some discount to us। Creditors वो लोग होते हैं जिनको आपके बिजनेस ने पैसा पे करना होता है। So creditors might also give us an option that if we make the entire cash payment, say they will again give us a discount of 1% on the settlement of the amount due। So this is a gain for the business। If a creditor is giving you some discount on the payment, so it is a gain for the business। तो पहला इफेक्ट जो इस एडजस्टमेंट का आता है, that comes on the credit side of the P&L account, this being a gain for the business, and all gains and profits come on the credit side। Also, this reduces the amount of creditors which we need to settle, and hence it is deducted from the amount of creditors in the balance sheet। So these are the two effects of the adjustment of discount on creditors। ओके, क्योंकि डेटर हमारे लिए वो पर्सन है जिसने बिजनेस को पेमेंट करनी है। अगर हम उसको कुछ डिस्काउंट दे रहे हैं, then that is an added expense for the business। But creditor is someone to whom the business owes money, so we are getting discount from them, that is a gain for the business। So accordingly the adjustment is made। Moving further, this is how you will be showing the provision on the credit side in the P&L account, and on the in the balance sheet deducting the amount of new provision from the creditors. Okay, after that we come to the next adjustment, which is interest on capital. Capital is the amount which is invested by the owner at the start of the business. So, this is the initial amount invested by the owner, and hence this is a liability for the business. Capital liability क्यों होती है business के लिए? Can anyone tell me why is capital a liability for the business?
And because in the end we have to pay the owners.
Okay, very good. So the separate entity concept says that business and owner are two different units. तो जब हम अकाउंट्स प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं, जब हम फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं, तो हम वो बिजनेस के पर्सपेक्टिव से कर रहे हैं, ओनर के पर्सपेक्टिव से नहीं कर रहे. तो लाइक आई गेव यू द एग्जांपल कि रिलायंस से रिलायंस पेट्रोलियम है. रिलायंस पेट्रोलियम इज अ बिजनेस. Accounts are prepared for Reliance Petroleum, while Mukesh Ambani is one of the contributors of capital to the business. Okay, so मुकेश अंबानी का अकाउंट अलग है, रिलायंस पेट्रोलियम का अलग है अकाउंट. बिजनेस के लिए फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स प्रिपेयर हो रही हैं, एंड दिस अमाउंट ऑफ कैपिटल इन्वेस्टेड बाय द प्रमोटर is a liability for the business, because whenever the business closes, the amount of capital has to be reimbursed or returned back to the owner. अगर एक फर्म इंटरेस्ट ऑन कैपिटल दे रही है, मतलब जो पैसा ओनर ने कंट्रीब्यूट करा है बिजनेस पे, उस पर बिजनेस उसको इंटरेस्ट पे करती है. 2%, 3% एवरी ईयर इंटरेस्ट पे करता है बिजनेस टू द ओनर. देन दैट इज एन एक्सपेंस फॉर द बिजनेस. So it is shown on the debit side of the P&L account, because this payment is made from the business to the owner, and it is added to the capital on the liability side of the balance sheet. Okay. तो इंटरेस्ट ऑन कैपिटल की जो एंट्री है उससे ही आपको पता चल जाएगा that since interest on capital is debited, this is an expense for the business. Because of the interest on capital, the amount of capital is increasing. So capital account is credited. The amount is added to the capital account.
Ma'am, one student is trying to join the class, I guess.
The drawings adjustment you are asking me?
No, ma'am, I'm saying that one student is trying to join the class.
No,
Actually,
you
there was a
made
confusion regarding the
time was.
timing.
I had made it clear in the morning. He has come twice. I have denied. 11:50 पे मैं entry allow नहीं करूँगी ना class में. Sorry,
Okay, ma'am.
12:50 पे he tried joining. Okay.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
let him know he'll come to the class tomorrow now.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, next is interest on drawings. Now drawings basically is the amount cash or asset withdrawn by the owner for personal use. Okay, now drawings are always deducted from the amount of capital. In many cases, the firm will a charge an interest on drawings from the owner. तो वो एक्सप्लिसिटली आपको दिया होगा कि अगर ओनर विड्रॉ कर रहा है पैसा बिजनेस से फॉर पर्सनल यूज, तो जिस टाइम पीरियड के लिए पैसा उसके पास रहेगा, फॉर दैट टाइम पीरियड द ओनर हैज टू पे इंटरेस्ट टू द फर्म. So this interest which firm receives on the drawings is an income for the business. So this is shown on the credit side of the profit and loss account. Also, Since drawings are deducted from the capital, interest on drawings is also deducted from the amount of capital. So interest on capital expense है, while interest on drawings is an income for the business. We move to the next adjustment. This adjustment I had covered in the class last time. अगर interest on loan है, that can be in form of a hidden adjustment. It can also be given to you as a separate adjustment. You need to calculate the amount outstanding on the loan. Interest on loan is debited to the P&L account, and it is shown on the liability side on the balance sheet, in the balance sheet. Okay. So it can be an explicit adjustment or it can be in form of an implied or hidden adjustment जो आपको खुद locate करनी है from the trial balance which is given to you. So after this, what I'll do is I'll come to one last adjustment and then we'll take up one question. Okay, I'll take up this adjustment. A person has a debit balance as a debtor and also a credit balance as creditor. Now, this means that there is some common debt, which means कि आप से मिस्टर ए है, मिस्टर ए. Now he has to pay 2,000 to the business and the business को उसमें 2,000 रुपए पे करना है. तो यहाँ पर वो डेटर है बिजनेस का for 2,000 rupees and he is also a creditor for an amount of 1,000 rupees. तो से उसका बहुत सेग्रीगेटेड बिजनेस है, लार्ज बिजनेस है, बहुत सारी प्रोडक्ट लाइंस है. एक पॉइंट पे वो हमारे लिए सप्लायर ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल है और एक पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे वो कस्टमर भी है बिजनेस के लिए. अब जब वो सप्लायर हम उससे रॉ मटेरियल ले रहे हैं तो हमने क्रेडिट पे लिया जिसके लिए हाइपोथेटिकली वी हैव टू पे हिम ₹1,000 and he has also bought that finished good from us for which he owes the business ₹2,000. Okay, so what do we do in this case? What we reduce the amount of common debt from debtors and creditors. So this means 2,000 और 1,000 की जो lower amount है, that is 1,000. This is taken as common debt and this will be reduced from both the amount of debtors and creditors in the balance sheet. सेकेंड पॉइंट में दिया हुआ है आपको प्रोविजन फॉर बैड डेट शैल बी क्रिएटेड ऑन दी रिड्यूस्ड डेटर्स. तो अगर आपके क्वेश्चन में कोई प्रोविजन भी बनाना है बैड डेट्स का तो पहले 1,000 डेटर्स में से जो कॉमन डेट है वो माइनस करोगे और उसके बाद आप उस पर प्रोविजन बनाओगे. Just check if there is yes, there is one example in the on this slide. Please have a look. So here you have debtors 29,000, creditors 14,800. Included in debtors, common person Mr. Harish, to whom the business also owes 2,000. So he has to pay business 3,000 while business has to pay him 2,000. So the common amount of the two is ₹2,000. Lower of the two will be deducted from creditors as well as debtors. So this is how common debt is treated. और अगर इसी क्वेश्चन में कोई प्रोविजन फॉर डेटर्स बनाना होता तो पहले आप 29,000 में से 2,000 माइनस करते और रिमेनिंग 27,000 पे आप प्रोविजन बनाते. Okay. Are these adjustments clear to everyone? Any question related to the adjustments which we have covered today? So we now move to one question on the adjustments taken up. Take 5 minutes, read the question, start attempting the question. I'll give you 10 minutes, start attempting the question, and then we'll take up the solution. So everyone, the question is there on your slide. Start attempting the question.